pretty much 98% of the planet has now had to stop, and they have more time. So I think part of the goal is to form better habits that are better for each of us, and hypnosis can help with that.
Hello, Doug. My pleasure to be in here.
Hello, Stacey, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, Tim. Can you give me a little bit more information about your work, your job? What kind of people they coming to you?
Yeah, well, I don't really believe that I have to work or I have a job, because actually I really enjoy what I do. It's a little bit of a cliche, I know, but I don't think of it as hard work. I'm a complementary therapist, and I do a few things. I originally trained as a healer. My speciality, though, is hypnosis and regression therapy. And I get all sorts of people coming to me, all sorts of people from the very spiritual to the slightly spiritual to the people who are on a journey to become a healer. And then I get the business people. I get the businesswoman and the businessman. I get doctors sometimes. I get people quite often who have problems that they haven't been able to solve through other ways. And often I'm the 15th person that they consult. And they say, I've been to the doctor, I've been to the chiropractor, I've been to this person, I've been to that person. And then they say, can regression help? And you know, the whole idea about regression in particular, and hypnosis to a degree as well, is that we go into the subconscious. The source of the problem is always in the same place. It's always in the subconscious mind. And when we can go to the source of that, then we can unlock it. So I get a whole load of people for a whole load of different issues. And that's part of what makes my job so enjoyable, if it is a job.
Yeah, it's your passion.
My passion, you can hear it, can't you?
Yeah. Can you go a little bit deeply in what is the difference between hypnosis and regression?
Okay. Hypnosis is really a broader term that has a lot of separate techniques within it. Hypnosis, commonly it's associated with stopping smoking, with weight loss, with fear of flying, public speaking, and hypnosis tends to, tends to help quite a lot, because we're going into the subconscious mind. We're putting a lot of positive suggestion into the subconscious mind. We're helping people to reframe the problem in the subconscious mind. Regression is like a speciality within hypnosis. And regression is always about going to the source of the problem, wherever that is, whether that's in the current life, or whether it's in a past life, or whether it's in the ancestral memories of a person's family. But it's about specifically going back to the original event where the problem started. And as part of my belief system is that as a soul, we incarnate multiple times. And so we carry some of the soul's unfinished business from lifetime to lifetime. It's not everybody's belief system, I know, but regression is, as I say, it's sometimes past life, sometimes current life. So regression is really about going to the original event. That's really what it's all about.
Yeah, that is the big question for me. How we understand we are in the regression or progression?
Well, progression is going forward. So
Okay.
Progression is about I know a lot of people who do what do they call it? Future life progression. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that's about seeing how your life will be going forward, or a future life. And that's, that's kind of interesting. That can be helpful. Personally, I'm a fan of history. I studied history at school, and I believe that quite simply we are products of our history. Some people will deny that. I don't believe you can. Everything in the world that's happening is a product of history. It's a product of what's happened before. And that's who we are. We are, you and I here today, we're we're evidence of that. We are who we are because of what's happened to us and for us and with us and all those other things. And so I'm much more of a fan of when there's a problem, we go back, we find out what the problem was, where it started, and we transform it in some way so it's no longer a problem in the current life. The whole goal of regression is not to get stuck in the problem, it's really to release the energy of the problem.
How you start your journey?
By accident. I used to work in corporate for many, many years, and I was working really long hours. I had a great job. I had good money. I had a big house. I had a fast car. And in 1990 something, I went on holiday with my girlfriend at the time to Machu Picchu in Peru.
Yeah.
And when we got to Machu Picchu, I still don't know quite what happened, but at Machu Picchu, when we trekked up the hill or the hills for 4 days, and on the 4th day we were at Machu Picchu, and as I sat there, I knew that I needed to change my life. I just had this very deep knowing, and I knew that I needed to change my life. And it took me a couple of years to pull my life apart. I resigned from my job eventually. I sold my house, I sold my car, got a new girlfriend, and what I did was I traveled for a couple of years. And as I traveled, I kind of found out I lost my old corporate identity to some degree. You know how we get so wrapped up in our jobs. And I became very curious about who I was. So I started investigating holistic therapies. I met a shaman. I met a medium. I met all sorts of interesting people as I was traveling. And when I came back to the UK, I had this idea that I had to get my chakras fixed. And I didn't really know what my chakras were at the time, to be absolutely honest with you. But I found my way to a place called the College of Psychic Studies. I did a 2-year healing course. I studied Reiki. And at the same time, my big problem was that I smoked. And I could stop smoking for 3 weeks, for 6 months. And in my gym, around about the same time I started training to be a healer, there was an advert, Hypnosis, to stop smoking. So I went to the hypnotherapist, and I tried to stop smoking 10, 20, 30 times. I went to Hypnosis, and I stopped smoking like that. And I was like, ooh, how did that happen? How did that happen? And so as a result of that, I found my way to a hypnosis course, and I ended up studying hypnosis, and I kind of got fascinated with hypnosis, and then with regression and past lives and everything that's involved with it. So, I kind of swapped one addiction for another in a way, but it's something which has been a passion. I've seen a lot of change within myself as a result of that. All the work that I've done in the studying and working on myself, and I've seen a lot of change with the people who've come as clients, and I train other people to do hypnosis and regression. So I've seen a lot of change with the people who's come and learned how to do that as well. And I think that's we look around the world today, we can say we've had a heck of a big change in the past 3 or 4 weeks, and I think for some people that's really hard, but for others it's much easier because we've kind of embraced change quite a lot over the past 10 or 15 years, or however long we've been on this journey. Change has just been part of it. It just so happens that we have a really big change a few weeks ago.
Yeah. What about the stones behind you? I love it.
That's one of the things that I do as well. I buy and sell crystals. Again, that's a little bit of a passion. Ever since I was, a young kid, I've been interested without ever really doing anything with them. I've always kind of picked them up and put them down. And I guess about 15 years ago, I just started buying and selling a little bit on a small scale. And now I have, a room full of crystals. And actually, I'm pretty busy. I'm about to go to the post office when we finish this interview. I'm kind of in the post office almost every day at the moment, sending crystals. Yeah, so I buy and sell quite a lot. So if anybody's watching who's interested in crystals, then just find my details, and I kind of show you around my collection by WhatsApp or Zoom or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. How you feel when the people, they come into you, they work with you, and after that you see the so many things, they're just changing. Their life is changing. How you feel?
Do you know, when I first started doing it, and I was amazed. I was like, how did that happen? Many years later, I take it a little bit for granted in a way. Yeah, sometimes when I've got one particular client at the moment that I can't talk about, who's experiencing what I believe is going to be an amazing change in that person's life. But I am like, wow, that's incredible. But it's almost as though I just expect it. I expect change because I believe in, I believe in the power of what I do. I believe in people and people's ability to make changes when they're really motivated. When we're, when clients are motivated, and that's one of the keys, that determines my client's success. How motivated are they? Do they really want it? When they really want it, they'll do it. They'll do it. At all, whatever it is, they'll turn the world on their head, and I can, I help a lot of people with that. So I love it. As I say, I guess I take it a little bit for granted, and I expect it because the process works.
How you can help the people right now? I mean, yes, they cannot come to you, but do you working online?
Yeah, I'm working online mainly via Zoom. Sometimes Skype, but I found that Zoom on the whole, there were some problems a few weeks ago, but on the whole, it's probably the best platform to use. Yeah. So I'm doing, I'm seeing clients for hypnosis, for regression online. I'm always available for that. I'm running a course at the moment online, a course called Manifestation Through the Chakras, which is about the chakra system and how we create our reality. That's live and online on Thursdays. That started last week. I'm going to be doing another course that I have running about past lives in a couple of weeks' time. I'm going to be starting that. So yeah, I'm available online.
Okay, perfect.
I'm always available.
Yeah, because that is not the job. It's not work.
It doesn't feel like work,
Okay, can you give just a little bit tips about this course where start the last week?
Yeah, the course is called Manifestation Through the Chakras. It's 7 weeks, 1 week for each of the major chakras. Last week we did the crown chakra, and there are several goals in the course. One of them is more information about each chakra. The chakra system is the energy system that corresponds to the physical body. Each chakra links into a gland in the endocrine system, so it's really important for our immune system. So each week we go through a chakra and we talk about the chakra, but we also do a meditation, a healing meditation. It's a different one every week for each chakra. And we also do some sound healing. That's the other thing that I do. I work with sound as an energy healing frequency, so we do a sound healing for each particular chakra. So if I say it myself, the course is good, and it's £98 for the 7 weeks. Each week is recorded, so if anybody wants to join when they see this interview, the week that they've missed is recorded. Every week is recorded, and you have all of the recordings for about 3 months or so, and you can download the meditation separately. You can download the sound healing. You can download the information. There's a lot of value in the course, and there's a discount coupon somewhere. If anybody signs up, I think it expires at the end of April, but if you put in the code "watched the video" when you get to the checkout, then you get 10% discount.
Perfect. So, dear friends, just put the comment below, and the word is
watched the video.
The video. So I will contact you and send the link and directly the contact with the DAC. So yeah, that will be really nice.
It's better to join sooner rather than later, because then you can do it with the group. We're live on Thursday nights, but as I say, it's recorded.
What about this period of our life? What you can prefer to all of us? I know it's tricky moment, but this stuff to work with yourself, with the energy, regression, hypnosis, I think will be more helpful with most of us.
You know, I think there are many, many aspects to what's happening at the moment. If we look at the outside world, there's a lot of fear and uncertainty. As humans, we have a choice, really, of whether we embrace that. Personally, I choose not to embrace the fear and uncertainty, but I know for other people it's quite difficult. So I think one of the big lessons for humanity is to find themselves, to find peace within themselves, to work out how to let go of stress and tension and deal with it more easily, to be able to process it more easily. Some people can do that quite naturally. Other people take this energy of fear, this energy of stress into themselves more easily. And I think hypnosis is a great tool for that. I've got all sorts of things. I have a self-hypnosis course online. I have an app which costs 99 pence called Hypnosis for Transformation. I have lots of little simple tools. And I think, I think the lesson is to form better habits. Yeah, I think we had a habit of running around like crazy up until 3 or 4 weeks ago. Pretty much 98% of the planet has now had to stop, and they have more time. So I think part of the goal is to form better habits that are better for each of us, and hypnosis can help with that.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Lovely. Thank you so much for having me on this and interviewing me, Stacey. I really appreciate it. And thank you for all the work that you're doing for all of the people that you're interviewing.
Thank you.